original ecstasy, Jimmy Rave.
Jimmy Rave, a guy who looks like the older brother of Macaulay Culkin, but in fact, it's a guy who is so deceptively powerful, so deceptively dynamic in the ring. He's literally set wrestling on its ear with some of the things that he does. And hopefully Jeremy Lopez has seen one or two of those moves. If he hasn't, young Gerlo is in for a rude surprise this week on NWA Wildside.
Well, Jimmy Rave has caught on like wildfire, and no, I don't mean Tommy Rich. Here in Wildside.
We will not refer to Tommy Rich anymore in this edition of Wildside, please.
Jimmy Rave is the Wildside Junior Heavyweight Champion. He won that 2 weeks ago in one of the most amazing, I'll say it, the most amazing three-way dance I have ever called in my entire life. It was Jimmy Rave, Caprice Coleman, and J.C. Daz. They tore the roof off the NCAA arena and damn near tore the arena down. And now Jimmy Rave here, a tough challenge in his first defense against Jeremy Lopez. Interestingly enough, Jimmy Rave has the belt in his possession. The last we saw him, Caprice Coleman took the belt. Well, yes. As we saw earlier in this episode of Wildside, Jimmy Rave was coincidentally walking by the bag of Caprice Coleman and took the belt back, so Coleman doesn't know he's lost it.
Well, it's funny, I mean, Coleman shouldn't be walking around with bags that are obviously holding championship belts in it, particularly a belt that he stole. You know, Coleman doesn't need to be involved in stuff like that. Coleman, what a gifted guy. Perhaps the next Jushin Liger of this world. Yet he goes around stealing belts. That's very unlike a potential junior heavyweight champion.
Tremendous chain wrestling here. Of course, that Malenko training background that Jeremy Lopez received out of Tampa helps him in that area. Definitely, Lopez, such a tremendous athlete. There's a drop kick and a deep arm drag. Jimmy Rave hangs on, and he's so popular with these fans here in NWA Wildside.
Boy, no kidding. Quite a gifted guy, a very popular guy here. And I'm going to make a correction, too. I mentioned earlier that Jeremy Lopez was trained by Boris Malenko. No, actually, obviously, trained by Dean Malenko and Joe Malenko.
Arm drag, but Rave rolls through. He's taking the Matt Genius to school, and that's pretty interesting.
Well, that's true. I mean, Jeremy Lopez, we're talking about a guy who's actually in the embryonic stages of his career. I mean, the evening is young, so to speak, for Jeremy Lopez. His best years are obviously in front of him, and he's got a lot to look forward to. But this week, he has an opportunity that very few get here at Wildside, an opportunity to face the Junior Heavyweight Championship for that coveted gold.
Well, Jeremy Lopez finally shook Rave, tossing him over the top rope. Lopez has been very successful in his young career, there's no doubt about it.
But he's such a snotty-nosed little punk, though.
Oh, he's definitely sneaky. And that's the one thing I don't like about him, is that he sneaks around the ring all of the time like he's always up to something, you know? But
hey,
nonetheless...
It's worked for many.
Nonetheless, he had a World Championship Wrestling contract at one time. He was actually supposed to go and compete for the Battle Arts promotion in Japan shortly before he signed that contract, the signing of the contract, although it didn't last long.
Yes, but a WCW contract and a quarter will get you a nickel.
These days, in any event. Suplex there by Jeremy Lopez, no, a brain buster. One of his signature maneuvers there, driving Jimmy Rave on his head.
Beautiful, beautiful maneuvering from Jeremy Lopez. Now, didn't Lopez see the match earlier where Suki Boom Boom pulled up his opponent's hair after several pin attempts? Now, why would he want to do that? Doesn't he want to pin Jimmy Rave? Doesn't he want to make an inroad for himself here in Wildside? Doesn't he want to win the damn belt? Excuse me, I'm getting kind of Dan Wilson fired up here.
Beautiful spinning head scissors there by Jimmy Rave. Now he's fighting back. What a test this is in his first title defense against such an internationally educated competitor. What a side slam there by Jeremy Lopez.
Although that pin didn't work, but notice how Lopez tried to grapevine the leg in such a way, twisting it around, so he had a hard time kicking out. Smart maneuvering from Lopez, despite the fact he pulled his opponent's hair off after a pin attempt, which may have been where everything turned around for Lopez, I think. That was the turning point.
Well, as we know, Jeremy Lopez, trained by Dean and Joe Malenko, the men of thousands of moves, and Jeremy Lopez definitely has 1,000 of moves, but he has a couple of signature maneuvers that he really likes to rely on. Oh, look at Jimmy Rave, took a clothesline, kick to the midsection, whips him into the far corner. Rave follows back up. He's got him hooked, and this is one of those I believe I was talking about. This is the inverted tarantula. This is one of Lopez's favorite moves, and it's not going to get a submission, obviously, because he's tied in the ropes, but it hurts like hell.
No kidding, it hurts like hell, but unfortunately to Lopez, I don't mean to shoot down the offense, Jeremy Lopez, he can only put that hold on for a 5 count, just under a 5 count, before he has to release it and run the risk of disqualification. So yes, that move is incredible, but unfortunately it's a hold that can only last so long.
But evidently a wear down hold. Now Jeremy Lopez following up Jimmy Rave on the outside. Like we said before, he's sneaky and he's devious and he knows his game plan. Jeremy Lopez is obviously a student of the game. He watches tapes, he's grounded Jimmy Rave for the most part, and that's something that's been hard to do here as of late because he flies through the air so much.
That's true, but Lowe is definitely making some serious inroads in this match, making himself high on the list of contenders for the junior heavyweight title, and perhaps at the rate he's going, he might even win it.
2 count only. That was an absolutely picture-perfect tiger driver there by Jeremy Lopez, but only got a 2. We talked about Jimmy Rave's resilience. He's such a small kid, but he has an uncanny ability to absorb punishment.
Well, he's getting his share of punishment this week from young Lowe, a.k.a. Jeremy Lopez. Oh, there. Oh, good attempt at a drop kick, and Rave is nowhere in sight. Boston Crab from Jimmy Rave. Check that.
Lopez rolls through, but Jimmy Rave rolls through. Beautiful exchange of pinning combinations. Lopez on top, 1-2. Only got a 2, he rolled through. No, Jimmy Rave going for the 2 count. Unbelievable.
Damn, it's a near fall clinic.
Lopez, beautiful bridge up. Now he's coming rolling through. Looks like it's going to be a backslide. No, Jimmy Rave reverses, goes for a clothesline. He ducks. Jimmy Lopez back suplex.
Beautiful exchange of maneuvers. Looks like each opponent was able to second guess what the other guy was doing. One after another shows you the mark of true athletes. And here at NWA Wildside, we're littered with them.
This is the top wrestling promotion in the country. This is the most exciting hour of wrestling on television today.
I know that may be a cliche, Dan, but damn it, it's true. If you're a first-time viewer of NWA Wildside, prepare to be dazzled.
That Jimmy Rave going for a clothesline. Now this could be the elevated DDT. The move Lopez relies on as a finish. Beautiful move. This could be, I think we may have a new champion. Speedy Nelson.
I think we're there. Unfortunately, Rave able to get the right leg over the bottom rope. If it wasn't for that, we would have a new junior heavyweight champion in Jeremy Lopez.
And I think Lopez may be able to blame it on Speedy Nelson. He was out of position. Jimmy Rave may not have been able to get his foot on the ropes had he not had the time.
Jeremy Lopez is blaming Speedy Nelson for paying attention. Imagine that. What an exciting match, and hell, we're just at the very beginning of this edition of Wildside. Rick Michaels and David Young, yes, both members of Bad Attitude, yes, both members, former tag team champions of the National Wrestling Alliance. They're facing each other this week on Wildside.
Unbelievable.
And that's not only the main event.
In the main event, AJ Styles and John Phoenix. Quite possibly, if not the 2 most exciting high flyers in wrestling today. I'm looking forward to that match more than I can think of. And now right here, we've got Jimmy Rave and Jeremy Lopez for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. What excitement, what action, and it's only on Wildside.
Both guys down. Both guys have taken an awful lot of punishment. Some finishing maneuvers from both opponents, but yet nobody's been pinned yet. That's how good these guys are.
There's the Gravity Killer. That's the movie won the belt with, and that's the movie retains it with. Jimmy Rave is your winner.
That is why Jimmy Rave is the Junior Heavyweight Champion. What a gifted professional, and he remains the Junior Heavyweight Champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still Wildside Junior Heavyweight Champion, the original ecstasy, Jimmy Rave.
Jeremy Lopez definitely brought his game face this week. This is more of a fight than Jimmy Rave had anticipated. And Lopez, yes, he's a bit of a hothead, yet he's a snotty-nosed little punk, but damn it, he brings so much to the game, and he brought a lot of it this week, and he was more than a handful for Jimmy Rave. But Rave retains his Junior Heavyweight Championship. What a match, Dan.
Well, Jimmy Rave got the belt back, as we saw earlier. He got it out of Caprice Coleman's bag. It was stolen. Now Jimmy Rave retains the belt. What a tremendous match. What the hell?
Good heavens, Rave is KO'd. Who is that? It's Rainman and Homicide.
What the hell are they? What do they have against Jimmy Rave? This is Blackout.
No, it's another mugging. It's another mugging. I'm tired of muggings here in Wildside. They've taken Rave's belt.
What, this poor kid has just won the belt and he can't even keep it.
What are they doing? Are these paid flunkies of Caprice Coleman?
It would seem to be that way, but not
guessing.
Confirmed. Unbelievable.
That's absurd. Rainman and Homicide literally mugging the Junior Heavyweight Champion, Jimmy Rave, and stealing the belt. I guess the belt once again is in the hands of anyone but the rightful champion, Jimmy Rave.
Well, poor Jimmy Rave, just when you think he got a leg up and got his belt back after winning it here in Wildside, it's taken from him again. Unbelievable. More action when we come back on NWA Wildside.